Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello there, my name is Iffando Darmansyah. I'm third semester of ship construction, specifically from class 3A, and in this video I'll be explaining about project-based learning, oil tankers midship to complete assignment of technical English lecture. Before we start, I'd like to ask to the viewers, how's your life? Is it good? Wherever you are watching this presentation, I hopefully you stay healthy and stay happy. And don't forget to stay hydrated. So let's get started. So in this presentation, there are four categories I will explain. The first one is introduction, which contains background, problem statement, project objectives, and project cap. Following the next category, it will be literature review, which contains midship parts, especially on oil tanker, and courses related to the project. And then we get into the next topic. It will be methodology, which contains qualitative methods, technical procedures, and project timeline. And last but not least, it will be result and conclusion, which contains the result of the project, conclusion of the project, and voluntary participation. Let's hop into the first topic. Midship is a term used in the shipping world to refer to the center of a ship. Specifically, midship is the area or section on a ship that lies between the fore and aft. It often has a larger width compared to the rest of the ship and is often the most stable part in terms of ship stability. So basically, a ship cannot be separated with the urgency of a ship section. The middle part of the ship will affect the calculation of the ship, which can be the stability and the resistance. And also, the structure of a ship is commonly visualized by the midship section. To find out the structural strength of a ship, we can find out the structural strength of a ship by looking at the midship structure of a ship that will be used to transport various things. For example, we will use an oil tanker. There are many parts of the ship's structure that must be considered on the oil tanker, which will be described in the midship for the type of oil tanker. Just as I was saying earlier, in this project we'll find out how do we know the strength of a ship. So let's get into the problem objective. So there are three objectives we will find out. The first one is line span of the oil tanker, and then 2D and 3D midship design of the oil tanker, and last, the stability and resistance calculation of the ship. Through this project, of course, we have some gaps while working on the project. The references we used to make the midship were not complete. There were still sites that were not clearly visible and did not match, interrupting the design process and the prototyping process. And then the uncertain timeline, unclear project targets, and uncertain output made it difficult for us to determine the direction of the work. So let's get into the next topic. So as you can see, for the midship section of the oil tanker, we use the references provided from the ship construction course. In this project, we will be using most of the parts following the data size reference we will use that we found on the internet. As we can see, there are three courses to make the lens plan, 2D and 3D designing and calculating the stability and resistance of the ship. We will need these apps to work on the project. Now we'll move on to the next topic. For the qualitative methods, we ask our lecturer about the direction and output of our project by showing the project results from the previous year and some explanation from the lecturer. You got some points to support the process of making the midship oil tanker prototype. So aside of the points we've got, our lecturer Miss Didia gave us the exact data size references she found on the internet. But as I said earlier, there are some files that made us work more on the correcting the data size. Next, in accordance with the objectives of the project, the design of the midship as well as its prototype begins with the preparation of a line span using Maxwell modeler, followed by taking the middle side of the ship, then detailing the 2D design and making a 3D design using AutoCAD. Then the results of the line span that made by Maxwell modeler will be calculated for resistance and stability through Maxwell resistance and Maxwell stability. From For prototyping, we make with a 2D design reference that is printed following the real size. Then this is the timeline we've gotten for the project. Not a short time, but it was tough for us because the exact date of the project ending wasn't really told properly as I said earlier. So let's get into the last topic. These all are the results of what we've made based on the project objectives. There is one objective we didn't make, it's the stability and resistance calculation of the ship. We weren't able to make it due to the time limit of the project. Through this, through this project, we managed to identify and design an oil tanker midship prototype that follows the specification according to the given material. In linking to the lecture material to this midship, we learned that there are several processes involved to produce a product in the form of a design and prototype. For the voluntary participation, I just realized I didn't add it to the slide. Was my fault. We, the second group of the project-based learning session, we had our own job until this project is done along the timeline. So that's all I think. If there's any fault that made along with this video, I really apologize, and through this presentation, I hope viewers can get experience some little knowledge about all tankers midship. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.